Hey friends! My name is Desiree, aka Mama Friendly, and I do all sorts of videos on my channel, from cooking videos to planner videos, vlogs, hauls, homeschool videos with a Disney twist, a little bit of everything. So if any of this sounds like fun to you, I hope that you'll subscribe and join me on my YouTube adventure. Today's video is a collaboration hosted by my friend Tiffany at Small Town 6. She's been doing these monthly food challenge collabs since last year, and every month she challenges us either to use a specific ingredient or to create a recipe with a specific theme. This month we're doing picnic or barbecue themed recipes just in time for the long weekend. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. And if you're not new, then you already know I eat gluten and dairy free exclusively. And as such, I tend to gravitate to and share paleo or Whole30 recipes because they already have the gluten and dairy free built in, and I don't have to do any extra work adapting the recipes to make them safe for me to eat. So today I'm sharing a recipe, or actually I suppose it's two recipes, it's two components. I'm gonna be making a paleo barbecue sauce that also happens to be Whole30 because there's no added sugar and it just fits all of the guidelines of that way of eating. And once my sauce is ready, I'm gonna use it to create barbecue beef and bacon that I'm gonna serve over a baked potato. Now, barbecue, beef, bacon, potatoes, like that all sounds like a great cookout meal to me. And because this is a collab, there's a playlist associated with it. So once you've seen my video, you can go into the description box and check out that link to the playlist so you can see what all my friends made this month for their barbecue or picnic meal. So now let me show you how I made these paleo recipes. First things first, I'm gonna make my paleo Whole30 barbecue sauce. I've made my own ketchup, my Whole30 ketchup in the past, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't love it because it was really sweet. I'm hoping that this is different. Never made this recipe before, but the recipe I'm following, I'm gonna link it down below, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be working with. So I've got 6 ounces of tomato paste. I've got a 14.5-ounce can of diced fire roasted tomatoes. We need a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, or you can use coconut vinegar. We need a half cup of pitted dates. So that's about 8 dates. That's what I'm going to be using. Make sure that they do not have the pits. You do not want the pits. We're also going to need a half cup of either bone broth or water. I actually don't have any bone broth right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and do water. A teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of red pepper flake. I don't have traditional red pepper flake on hand, but I do have gochugaru, which it's still chili flakes, so this might have an Asian flair, but I mean, it's still spicy. It's just, you know, for heat. So half a teaspoon of that, a tablespoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of yellow mustard. I'm assuming they mean prepared mustard and not dry mustard, so I'm going with the regular prepared yellow mustard here. 2 teaspoons of paprika. Now they specifically asked for smoked paprika, but this is what I have on hand, so this is what I'm going to use. You can optionally add a half teaspoon of hot sauce. I'm definitely going to do that, and probably more than a half teaspoon. And you also need 3 tablespoons of bacon fat or coconut oil. I happen to have some bacon fat right here reserved, so that is what I am going to use. So I'm going to take all of our ingredients and I'm going to put them into a large saucepan. And I'm just going to cook it on medium for 10 minutes. Make sure that you have a larger pan than you think you might need so that if it splatters, it doesn't make a mess. I am then going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to wait a little bit because it's very hot. Now, if you have an immersion blender, you can just leave everything right in the pot and use that. I don't. I'm using a traditional blender, so I'm waiting a little bit for it to cool down some, and then I'm going to blend it until it's smooth. Then I'm going to transfer it back into the pan, and I'm going to cook it for another 10 minutes or so until it's at the desired thickness that I want. If you find that yours is too thick, you can add a little bit more broth or water. If you find that it's too thin, just keep on cooking until it reduces. Now for our actual paleo barbecue beef and bacon, we're gonna use 6 pieces of nitrate-free bacon. I'm using a very thick cut uncured bacon, so I'm only gonna use 4 slices. We also need 1 large onion, a pound of ground grass-fed beef, a half teaspoon of salt, a third of a cup of coconut aminos, and a cup of our paleo barbecue sauce. I'm gonna cut my bacon into small pieces. I have these kitchen shears that I use for everything, and I think that that's gonna be the easiest way to do this. I'm gonna put it into a cold frying pan and cook it until it's crispy. I'm gonna scoop out all of the bacon pieces and set them aside to drain, but I'm gonna leave the bacon grease in the pan because I'm gonna use it now to cook up my onion that I've diced up as small and as uniformly as I can. You guys know that my knife skills are not the best. I'm just gonna cook these onions in the grease until they start to soften, maybe about 5 minutes. Then I'm gonna add in my ground beef and my salt, and I'm gonna cook everything until the beef is browned. We're gonna add in our barbecue sauce and the coconut aminos and just stir it until it's warmed through. So that being said, you can even make the sauce the day before so that the flavors have a chance to mingle and mellow, and then you're gonna bring it up to temperature now with the beef anyway. Stir in the bacon right before serving. I'm gonna serve mine over a baked potato, which I made in the microwave. You can do it in the oven, but I've always done it in the microwave. It's faster this way and they turn out just fine. 5 minutes, just make sure you poke them all with holes so that the steam has a place to escape. Top it with your barbecue beef and bacon, add some green onions as a garnish, and I'm gonna serve it with some corn on the cob. Delicious. Alright friends, there you have it. It was so good. I had been worried about the barbecue sauce potentially being too sweet or not having enough of a tang or just being out of balance because of my previous experience making Whole30 ketchup. But let me tell you, this was delicious. It was so tasty. Everything was on point. It was just savory enough, just sweet enough. It had a little bit of a tang from that vinegar. I will say I haven't had the sauce yet without the addition of the coconut aminos. Remember, we put coconut aminos at the end when we were cooking the beef, and I really do think that the coconut aminos added just enough savory umami to kind of balance the sauce out. So if you decide you don't want to do the barbecue beef portion and you just want to make the sauce, I would recommend adding that coconut aminos. I think it was a half cup or a third of a cup. Add that to the sauce itself and just keep it that way. Very tasty, and that's definitely how I'm going to be making it from now on. I also had more of the barbecue beef and bacon with the sauce and everything the following day. It was even tastier, as you can imagine, because all the flavors mellowed together. I had it with some Tostito scoops, which is definitely not paleo or Whole30, but it was gluten and dairy free and really tasty. And with the sauce that was left over, I ladled it out in half-cup servings and I froze it in a cupcake liner, in a silicone cupcake liner I have. Stuck it in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. So now whenever I want to have more of my sauce, I can just pop out a puck and there you go. If you decide you want to try this recipe, I would love for you to come on back and let me know how you liked it. I am confident it's going to be a hit. And before you go, I want to remind you to check out that playlist and see what all my friends made this month as well. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope that you will please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!